Hey, buddy. What you
Hi.
doing?
I'm playing with my Lego.
Oh, hey, why don't you come and stand by the whiteboard for a minute?
Okay.
I have some questions for you.
With this house.
Good job on that. So, hello. What is your name?
Solomon.
Solomon what?
With a method.
Solomon Methvin. So tell us about you, Solomon. How old are you?
5.
5. Can you show me how many 5 is on your hand?
A whole hand.
A whole hand. Hold it up. Let me see it. There it is. Good job. All right. And what grade are you in school right now, Solomon?
Preschool.
Preschool? And what grade are you going into next year?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten? Cool. Cool. What city do you live in?
Portland.
Portland. And what's your favorite food?
Roasted steak with pepper.
Steak with pepper on it? Oh, that's good. Anything else?
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob. Cool. What's your favorite toy?
Games.
Games? Cool. And who's your favorite dad?
My only dad.
Oh, who would that be?
You.
Oh, okay. That was a trick question. Thanks. So, I guess you like numbers. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, how high can you count? If you just kept counting, how high do you think you could go?
1,000,000, but that would take a day.
Oh, take you a while, but you think you could do it? Oh, okay. Do you know how to do math?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of math can you do? All kinds?
Not all kinds.
Not all kinds, but a lot. Can you do 2 plus 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's 2 plus 2?
4.
4? Cool. What's 5 plus 5?
10.
Well, it's 10 plus 10.
20.
What's 6 plus 3?
6 plus 3. 9.
9.
9.
Good job. Can you do subtraction?
Yes.
What's 10 minus 4?
7. 6.
6. Good job. What is 12 minus 6?
12 minus 6 is 6.
Okay. What is 50 minus 35?
15.
15. Good job. Oh, you are good at math. Can you do multiplication?
Yes.
Yeah. What is 6 times 9?
54.
8 times 8?
64.
12 times 4.
48.
9 times 10?
90. That's easy.
Okay. How about 11 times 11?
121.
Can you do division?
Yes.
Let's see here. Can you do 21 divided by 7?
Yes. It's 3.
3. Excellent. How about a big division number?
Oh.
You can do a big one? Wait, let's see if you can do it in your head.
Oh.
If you can't, you can use the whiteboard. But well, let's see here. How about 4,836 divided by 12?
That's easy. 403.
Oh, well, good job. You're pretty quick at that. How about some 3-digit addition numbers? Can you do, think about this one, 352 plus 113.
465.
Excellent job. Excellent job. How about this one? 2 million plus 1,750,000.
3,750,000.
Okay, that's kind of easy, huh?
Yeah.
All right. How about decimals? Do you know what decimals are?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's 25.2 plus 10.3?
35 and a half.
35.5. Excellent. Good work on that. What else do you know? Do you know fractions?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have 4 pieces of a pie and you have one of those 4 taken away, how much is that?
3/4.
3/4 left. And how much should you take away? What's that piece called?
1/4.
1/4. Excellent. Do you know how to add fractions?
Yes.
Yeah. What's 1/2 plus 1/4?
3/4.
Oh, excellent. And how about 3/5 minus 1/5?
2/5.
2/5. Okay. And can you add like fractions with different denominators? Like what if you did 1/3 plus 1/6 plus 1/3. What would that equal?
That would be 5/6.
5/6? Excellent. Wow. You got it all in your head. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's get into some a little bit more challenging questions. What is an exponent? Do you know how to do those?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is 2 to the second power? What would that be?
4.
4? Okay. What's 3 to the second power?
9.
3 to the second power is 9? Okay, good. Do you know how to do square roots?
Yes.
Yeah. What's a square root of 64?
8.
Okay. Do you know how to do cube roots?
Yeah.
What is the cube root of 125?
5.
Oh, good job. Good job. How about mean, median, and mode?
5.
Do you know that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So what if I give you 5 numbers? Let's say the numbers are 2, 3, 3. Yeah, you can write them down. 5 and 7. What is the average or the mean of those 5 numbers?
4.
4 is the mean. Okay. And what's the median?
Median.
3. Excellent. And what is the mode?
3.
3? How do you know it's 3?
Because 3 is most often in this group.
Oh, okay. So that's what mode is. Okay. Great. And do you know how to do percents?
Yes.
Do you know how to do percents? Good. So if I did like 1/2, like how many percent is that?
50.
50%? Okay. How about 1/4?
25.
25%? Okay. What about 2/3?
2/3. 66.66666.
Okay, good. That's good. So you know a little bit about percentages. Let's see. Do you know what the term pi is
Yeah.
in geometry? Tell me about pi. What do we use that for?
Circumference of a circle.
Yeah. What else can we use it for?
Area of a circle.
Area of a circle. Yeah. Do you know what the number is represented for pi?
Yes.
Tell me all of the numbers that you can remember for the number for pi.
3.1415926 5358979 462 643 832 7950 288 41971 3919 7951 05820974944592.
Oh, good job. That's quite a few numbers.
64.
64 of them? Oh, you even knew how many you remembered, huh? Okay. Well, I have...
I wrote the number of digits down and I still remember what I wrote down.
You did. You have a good memory. That's pretty good. Well, I have a surprise for you. I made some problems for you. If you take off that top board right there, there's one behind it. Yeah. Surprise. Actually, there's 2, but we'll start with this one. Okay. So we'll just take this one away. All right. So let's do some geometry. How does that sound? So over here on the left, we have, what is this called? What kind of shape is that?
That's why.
A triangle. Wait, before you do anything. So I want you to find what the P and the A are for that triangle. What do you think the P means?
Perimeter.
Perimeter. What would the perimeter be of the triangle?
The perimeter would be 17 inches.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and write that down?
Okay.
Okay. And what is the formula that we use for finding the area of a triangle? You want to write down the formula that we use?
1/2.
Excellent. 1/2 base times height. So why don't you tell me what the area would be for that triangle?
20.
20. Good job. And show me how you found that.
So the base
Mm-hmm.
was 5.
Okay.
And then I multiplied it by the height, which is 8.
Mm-hmm. And that gave you what number?
40, and then half of 40 would be 20.
Excellent. Excellent work. Okay. So what do we have next to it? What shape is that?
A circle.
Yeah. So let's say the radius of that circle is, I'm just going to make it easy and go with 5.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. You already told me that.
So yeah, so if you write 5 on the radius on the circle, go ahead and write the 5. Show me where the radius is. Yeah, perfect. And then the diameter would be what? 10 for the diameter. Excellent. So what formula are we going to use to find the circumference of the circle?
The circumference.
What's the formula we use for circumference?
5 times
What do we have? Pi times diameter. Excellent. So for this circle, what would the circumference be?
31.4.
31.4. Pi times diameter. Excellent. And how about the area of a circle? Show me what part is the area. You can just point to it or show me everywhere. Yeah, that whole thing there, huh? Everything. Okay. So, can you calculate the area of that circle?
Yes.
Yes.
The formula is area equals pi times all squared. And the all is radius, and the radius would be 5. So 5 squared is 25.
Okay.
And then 25 times
Sorry, tell me how to do. Okay, great. Hey, what's that next shape on the board there? What does that look like?
a right triangle.
A right triangle.
This is
Good
a triangle.
job. So, how do you know that's a right triangle? Tell me what makes that a right triangle.
Because it has this thingy, the light.
What does that say?
It says it's a right triangle.
How many degrees is it? 90 degrees. Have you ever heard of a thing called the Pythagorean theorem? Yeah. What do we use the Pythagorean theorem for?
Finding the hypotenuse, which is this, of a right triangle, which is this.
Okay. And what is the formula for the Pythagorean theorem?
Square.
Excellent job. So why don't you go ahead and find, using the Pythagorean theorem, find the formula, or use that formula to find the hypotenuse of this triangle. So good work with the Pythagorean theorem and triangles. What's that next shape at the end?
A trapezoid.
A trapezoid.
Because it has traps.
Yeah, it does. So, can you find the P or the perimeter of this trapezoid for me, please?
Perimeter.
Yeah. So what would that be?
16.
16? And how'd you find that?
I added up all of these sides. Wait, no, not.
Move to the side here so I can see you.
21. It's 21.
21?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So the perimeter is 21. How do we find the area of a trapezoid? Is there a formula that we can use for that?
Yeah.
What's the formula?
Area equals. This is a long formula.
Okay. So why don't you read that to me? What is that saying?
It's saying area equals base 1 plus base 2 times height times half times height.
Okay, great. So using that formula, can you find the area of this trapezoid?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's plug in this.
Good job. Good work on that. Okay. So for this one, here's the last shape that we have. That's a kind of a rectangular prism. Yes. Okay. So let's find the perimeter of the base of this.
Easy.
All right. Go ahead and write that down.
Okay. I'll write it down.
Okay. And how did you come up with that?
26.
Oh yeah, 26 is right. Okay. And how did you come up with that?
I added these.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just add the base sides up. Okay. Then how about the area of the base? What would that be?
Times the width. 40
Mm.
inches squared inches.
Excellent. And then what are we looking for when we say V?
Volume.
Volume. Okay. And what would be the volume of this shape?
Okay. How can it be 200?
Is that what your calculation says?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's correct. Yeah, so we do base times the height to get the volume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good work.
What?
I have
I know.
one more to go.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Are you excited to see what it is?
Algebra.
Algebra. What? Think you can do some of these?
Is this one for that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. But let's start over here on the left. Yeah. You know how to do algebra?
Yes.
And solve this? Good.
So. X plus. I'm just going to do minus 15 and then plus 30.
Minus 15 and then plus 30?
Yeah, that's easier.
Okay.
Plus 3 and then the 30 would be 33. 3x equals 33. 3x equals 33.
Good.
Okay. Answer is 11.
Can you circle your answer? Good. And then can you finish the work there at the bottom to show me how you got that? Good.
33 over 3 is 11.
Excellent job. Excellent. So x equals 11. All right. How about that problem?
Long video.
Yeah. How about that problem below it? X over 9 plus 8 equals 14. What are you going to do with that?
So that leaves us with 6. X over 9 equals 6.
Okay.
9x equals 54.
Excellent. X equals 54. That's your answer. All right. Good. Good, good. So what do we have over here?
Trinomial.
Trinomial. All right. Well, why don't we factor this trinomial? Do you think you can break that down into its factors?
Yep.
Okay. Show me how you would do that.
So let's write the pairs for the 40.
Okay.
2 does not equal 8 does equal 13. So, x minus 5x plus, no,
There you go. Good job. Are you going to finish your parentheses there? You're going to finish your parentheses on the x minus 8.
oh, fine.
There you go. Now you got your factors. All right.
I fell for you. What?
So now on the bottom of that, we have one that's already factored.
Yeah, I'm just gonna foil it.
You're going to foil it? Okay. Show me how to do that.
X plus x times x. And then x. Okay, and then x times. Okay. So that'll be positive 2x. And then 6 times 4. No,
Negative 24. So what's your answer?
x squared plus 2x plus minus 24.
Minus 24. Good work. That is correct. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. And last but not least, what do we have over here? What's the formula we're going to use to...
Y equals mx plus b.
And what is that formula used for?
Linear function.
Yes, linear functions. Which is, yeah. So why don't you go ahead and solve that equation using your y equals mx plus b formula, and then go ahead and plot it on the graph for me.
Minus.
So can you get it into our y equals mx plus b formula?
Yes. So y equals 2x minus 4.
Minus 4. Okay.
And then, so plot that. Negative 4 here.
So what does the 2 represent? What's that going to be called?
The slope.
The slope. And how about the minus 4? What's that going to be
The
called?
y-intercept.
The y-intercept.
Let's make some function tables.
All right. Let's do that.
So let's try 1.
Okay.
If x was 1 times 2 is 2. And then 2 minus 4 would be negative 2.
All right.
So over 1 and then negative 2.
Okay.
Yeah, like a child.
Do a couple more.
Yeah, let's do 3. 3, 6 minus 4 is 2. So over 3 and up 2.
Good job. This comb is kind of straight. Let me try that.
Oh.
I didn't think about getting a straight edge for us, but good job. Good job plotting that linear equation. So, what is the formula that we use to find a linear equation? Why don't you write it down for me?
Y equals mx plus b.
Okay, and that's how we find that slope, right?
Yeah.
What is that slope? Is that a positive or a negative slope?
That is a positive.
Positive slope. Good job. All right, Solomon, stand up. All right, buddy. Good work. So you like math, right?
Yeah.
You're going to come back and do some more next time?
Yeah.
All right. Good job. Say
That
bye.
was a long video.
That was a long video. Say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.